I need to shave. Okay. One sec, guys. Make a difference now. Okay, I think we should be set up. Let me just double check my audio, my music. Yep, everything's working fine. My chats, I believe, I hope so, if it's working fine. Jingo, come on now. You out of all the people you could draw, you're not slick. Actually, I'm actually drawing four characters from Stellar Blade. One of them is the new character Evie, Raven, and then Adam. Evie will be part of a study where I'm just gonna paint her the way I do manga, but in my style, but in the rendering style of Inuit Takehiko Inoue, right? That's what I want to do with Evie. So she'll be fully black and white, but like insanely cool details, right? And then I'm doing 3 other characters for Stellar Blade because I want a really high quality painting for me to be able to put in my shop, because I'm gonna set up a shop where I can sell my prints. Yeah, very soon though. That's not gonna happen for the next 1 month or 2, because I still need to put in work when it comes to the products. I'm not only doing Stellar Blade, I'm also doing Evangelion. So there'll be 3 collections for Evangelion. Obviously, the 3 main characters there, right? Shinji, Asuka, and Rei. Who else am I doing? I'm doing a Warhammer one. What was it again? Oh yeah, the Ultramarines. I'm gonna do 3 of them. That's Calgar, Titus, and Gilliman. And I believe I forgot. I have a list, right? But those are the 3 launching collections that I'll be on. It'll be on my website. It's really just a way for my supporters to, hopefully my viewers to hopefully support me. It's an optional thing, but at least you get something out of it when you buy something, and instead of just donating, if that makes sense, right? But yeah. What else am I doing? Oh yeah, I got like new clients, and so I may not be able to work on chapter 2 of my manga for a little bit. Although that's almost finished. It's not that I won't be able to work with it, but the progress will be slowed down, right? I used to do 8 pages per week, and then because of like situations with my clients, I'm now doing 3, and pretty soon I'll probably be doing 1 page per week. But the chapter is about 20 pages out before it's over. And not only that, I'm doing 2 other books. That's right, I remember. I'm doing 2 other books and 2 other one-shots. So 2 books that are lore material. Maybe I'll just combine those 2 books into 1 book, because that's just lore material. And then the second, I have 2 other one-shots that's set on the same universe as my manga, but on a different time frame, because I want my world building stuff to be involved with my storytelling as well. So I want the world of Raikishi to be a place where stories can take place. You know, it's not just one thing that's happening. It's not just this one storyline. There is a main storyline, but I want to be able to tell other stories as well that are just as important and just as interesting, but maybe it's like something that's happening out there. All right, in conjunction with the main storyline. Dude, overwork? Don't you need help or something? Ah, man, dude, I'm good. All you gotta do if you have a lot of work is you just need to structure your day really well. You know, you need to structure your week and your month really well. That's why I'm able to work a lot, and I'm able to finish a lot of things at the same time, because I'm working on a lot of things at the same time. Just little by little, you know, you need to rush it. Hey, what's up, Rare? You're always here. Along with, I'll bet Silver Comet is somewhere in the chat, just being silent, right? He's always like that. Bang a Wolf. Hey, Matt, what's up, man? Glad to see everybody's here. I'm just, you know, I this is a random stream, okay? I'm not supposed to stream today, and I am just, you know, I got nothing to do. All right, I got nothing to do, so might as well stream one of my work. This is not commissioned work. This is more like a personal work that like I said, I'll be adding to a collection set that I'll be selling very soon. Where was I with this painting? Oh yeah, I need to delete this, and let's get to rendering. I'm always here too. Yeah, of course, man. I know, but you're not like Silver Comet who's just lurking in the background, you know. I was just doing her skin, right? Because I've been experimenting with new ways to render the skin, and I think I like it so far. Because usually, but back in the day, I used to just make her pale as fuck, and the problem with that, it too saturated at the end, and the shadows a bit too muddy. So instead, the local colors that I used here are a bit orange for the skin. Where are my other layers? There it is. So it's a bit orangey for the skin because of the lighting, right? And there's a little bit of blue in it as well with the shadow, because there is a hint. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a hint of blue in the background. Did you like my drawings? Oh, I saw your drawings, man. They were pretty sick. But it's with the what was that cartoon of? Star something, right? Was that it? And I totally forgot. I don't really watch that I know of that cartoon, but I don't really watch that. But yeah, I did see it. I believe I liked and mentioned it, so I left a comment there. Do we need to use Japanese VFX sound effects for Zokamer? Yeah, you can use whatever you want, man. I actually use English dialogue in conjunction with Japanese onomatopoeia. It's just a unique thing. I know it's like it doesn't give off. There's some inconsistency with it. It's kind of throwing people off, but I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, I just like the aesthetic of the Japanese sound effects alongside with the English dialogue. And I think a lot of people actually understand it even without reading, right? It's like, because of the way I draw it, it's, you know, when something's moving, I kind of draw my sound effects also a bit flashy, so it looks like it's moving. So, you know, it's not just saying the thing, it's also doing the thing, if that makes sense. Gravity Falls. Was that Gravity Falls? Oh yeah, I don't really watch cartoons. I know of them. I'm familiar with Gravity Falls and what's that other cartoon? Star something. I'm familiar with the more modern cartoons. So, okay. So I was just experimenting with the light there. I kind of like it, but that's not gonna be the normal light render. So let's get in with the rendering here. This is I've already done the first layer of the shadows here, and a little bit of the first layer of I've already done the first layer of the skin, and I rendered the hair and everything else. So I usually render the skin as well as the everything else. So there's two layers here. Actually, there's 3 color layers, okay? But the skin layer is separate from everything else. It's just easier to render that way, so I can, you know, move around my hands like this and not worry about the layer on top. I think I give you my ad for my video, like you asked for Discord. You did? I didn't see it. Let me check. No, where did you put it, man? Oh, I didn't get it. Maybe you can DM me anyway. I'll check it out after the stream, okay? All right. Let's continue rendering this. So I'm just adding a softer shadow here. So it's barely noticeable. Let's actually make it a bit noticeable. There you go. And this is just for my midtones. Maybe I should use a different brush. A bit more painterly. Wait a minute. Is that really the... Oh, yeah, that's the one. Hey, Silver Comment. What's up, man? Nice seeing you as always. Where is... There it is. This is my blending brush. Ooh. I think this brush makes it really... It makes it look painterly. Why is that there? Right? Something wrong with this part here. Thanks. A nice Izuku PFP. Who's Izuku? Who has Izuku? So I can barely see everybody's PFP, man. I actually lost my glasses somewhere. Yeah, I can't see your PFP. I know Silver Comments are like an owl, right? Also listening to Silver Blades OSD before the notification. Hey, that's a serendipitous moment. That's what you call a serendipitous moment, right? Okay, so now we have our mid-tone. You can barely see it, but it's there. And I'm only rendering... I'm only like erasing the part that's facing the light, right? Because the light is coming from this direction. So this side of the hands is gonna catch that. It's gonna catch most of that. Okay. I think I like that very much. Right? Look at that. Before, after. Makes it a bit softer. The black lines here, the line art, we're gonna make that almost invisible by the end of this. It is bothering me at the moment. It does look very out of place at the moment, but at the end of this, we'll bury the line art with like some coloring. Okay, and there's gonna be some overlays here. Like for example, the textures for this, because this is supposed to be transparent, as well as this. This is actually an ornate kind of like embroidery thing. I don't know what you call it. Same here around these areas. This should be some ornate stuff. We're gonna overlay a lot of details once everything is rendered. So let's just work with this for a bit. There are some missing colors here that I just noticed now. Okay, that looks good. Erase some of that. See, my process is a bit messy. I kind of like it messy. At first, I had trouble with it, but I like the messiness of the process now. I said you're in your DMs. It was back in June 12th. Oh man, I've been so busy. In fact, I wasn't really paying attention to any of my social media until recently, because I've been burnt out, to be honest with you. And I'm just, at the moment, I'm actually recovering from being burned out. So yeah, you have to forgive me about that. Wait, are you talking about the manga stuff for the video I'm making? Because if you are, then I'm actually thinking of just doing one of your submission, and I'll do, because there are 3 people that submitted their manga to me for me to be able to make a video and convert 1 page from their manga. But I realized that I won't be able to do that. Not, at least not 3 of them. So instead of doing 3, I'll just do 1, and then we'll make a separate video specifically for that purpose, right? Because the first video, because I realized that I've been getting this question a lot from my viewers, or at least people from the Discord server, and sometimes people comment that they are having a trouble converting their script. Like, they wrote this really nice script, but they don't know how to convert it into a page, right? They don't know how to break it down. So I wanted to make a video about that, and that's almost finished actually. I'll be posting that somewhere on Friday. I got a video ready for next week too. So really, we're on the roll. No. Yeah. What is this color, man? And why can't I copy it? Wait. So it's a bit different now. Okay, so that's that. See, I like to do these bubbles around here because it kind of reminds me of traditional painting. Yeah, I saw you were playing Battleground 6. No, I was Battlefield. Yeah, so I've just been playing games for the past week or so. I'm kind of calming down a little bit on games because it's really not healthy for me, for work and for other stuff. Why is this not? What in the world is going on? Wait. Okay, just give me a sec. All right, let's take that. And yeah, that's correct. Okay. So if I introduce this now, see, that doesn't really help. What the hell's going on here? Okay. I'm just gonna stick with it. But luckily, I usually experience burned out. Like, it's not a new thing for me, and I already know what to do when that happens anyway. This is the wrong layer. So, I just play games, go outside, play with my son. Not worry about drawing at all for at least a day or two. It's not a new thing, okay? As a beginner, I use semi-traditional. That's great, man. Look, it doesn't really matter what you do as a beginner, if you're really an artist, and because the medium is just a tool. Oh, you deleted it. Sorry, I already read it, man. No, I wasn't trying to put you down, okay? I'm just saying that it's just a tool, really. As long as you're able to have fun. What the hell is going on? Who rendered this thing? I did. But anyway, as long as you're able to have fun, and learn something from it, and most importantly, produce good art, it really doesn't matter. Okay, I need some help with the nose later. I'll figure this out. But for now, I kind of like this already. I don't want to go too detailed with the nose because I have this bad habit where I end up having a realistic nose instead of an anime nose. So let's just chill for the nose for a little bit, okay? So why is that? I see I see. It's because I didn't erase the midtones. I'm having trouble with this rendering this face. It's because I didn't prepare the midtones properly. First I draw a sketch, then draw in tablet. Actually, that's pretty good. Yeah, I've seen people do that. That's pretty cool. I believe I tried doing that too back when I was also starting out, and it was because I had trouble sketching in in a tablet. But it's I quickly just adapted to it, and really I haven't drawn anything traditional for a very long time, man. And I always appreciate traditional artists because you don't really see them as often anymore. And every time I see like a really good one on Instagram, it makes me smile a little bit. At least the medium is still alive. I think it's still pretty much alive though. It's not like it's dying. So I know that this area right here is kind of weird. This should be something like this, right? And then the ears should go like that. But I'm not gonna fix it because later when we render the hair, a lot of that will be covered up. Okay, so maybe I'll extend the ear a little bit, but a lot of this will be covered up when I render the hair. So there's no sense of fixing that problem. See, I did it correctly here, and then I kind of messed up here, right? That's not even that's like a terrible ear. Like it's not actually, it's okay. It's not that bad now that I aligned that. But yeah, once I render the hair, it's gonna be covered up anyway, so no sense. There's no sense of covering that. What the hell's going on? Oh, there it is. Right. Soft light, right? I'm not a fan of this. Looks too I don't know, it looks like it looks makeup. It looks like makeup. To me at least, yeah? But it is kind of growing in me, so I don't know. Bounce light here maybe. That looks okay-ish. This triangle here should be a lot softer. It's too harsh. Like even softer. Something like that. Actually, maybe that's too soft. Pull it back a little bit. Okay, something like this. And wait. No, something more like this. Okay, I know it looks weird right now, but give me a chance. We'll make it look good. Or maybe not. Let's actually try to use a lasso tool this time. That's not so bad, but it does need to be reduced by a whole lot. Okay, that's a bit better. See? Way better, in my opinion. My last drawing was a fan art of this anime I watched. What's it called again? Princess Kaguya. And I kind of did that on a different style, more like cel shaded, which I wasn't used to. This art style though is more in my alley, more up in my alley. Is that what you say it? This rendering thing. Now, I know there's like a thing here, right? That goes like that. I'm not gonna render that because I'm not trying to draw something realistic. This is more stylized, okay? We're gonna render the black here, all the black outlines. We're gonna be coloring that later. Okay, that's a bit better. I'm still not a fan of the coloring here. What's this color now? More of a this color. Where did I get that? Okay. I think it's because I adjusted this earlier. 33. There we go. Oh man, I'm kind of struggling here. And I think it's because of this line, this shadow. The midtones is throwing me off. Yeah, I think yeah, it is kind of throwing me off, isn't it? I do this. Okay, that's way better. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of the midtones. It's really making me uncomfortable. Okay, there you go. Just for the face, okay? Because it's fine everywhere else, but I'm having trouble rendering the face because of this, or the midtone. When we get to like the clothing, it's gonna be a lot less guesswork. Okay, so let's actually render that with something more like this. All right, there you go. Now I have a lot of control. So it's more like applying makeup now. Dude, this is so easy now. Some more orange around her ears. We'll even make the ear glow a little bit after this, because you know there's some really strong lighting there. A shadow doesn't really behave like this, but because this is stylized, I'm adding some variations with the shadow. Actually, it kind of behaves like this a little bit. I'll take that back. You know what? Let's just shade this part. Okay. That looks way better. Of course, let's shade the this and here. You guys let me know if this looks terrible, okay? I'm totally open to criticism. Because my eyes is really biased. You know, I can't really give feedback for myself. It's one of my weakness. That looks terrible. Let's get rid of that a little bit. I think it's because it's too harsh around this area. Okay, that looks way better. Oh, that looks so good. We'll color her lips later too. I'm just doing this layer by layer, really. Okay, I think I'm happy with the face. We can always go back with it. Let's see before and after. A little bit of improvement there, especially with the skin. I think there's a lot of improvement here with the midtones. There's a nice trick that you can do with the folds on this area. I don't like it. It makes it look like a clothing fold instead of a skin fold. So let's just be subtle with it. Turn that back on. And yeah, that looks good to me. I think I can even get a more desaturated skin. Darker. Brighter. Now, what about more saturated but darker? Brighter but desaturated. Let's try a curve. That's making her really orange, isn't it? But it kind of looks appropriate because of the lighting. Let's turn on the lighting. And let's do that again. Okay. I think it looks okay. But we'll save that detail for later, okay? Okay, let's render the clothing now. I think I'm ready to move on with this. I'm just gonna make sure I have the correct color. I do. Let's start with the hair. So the hair, I render this in 3 levels, and this is the first one, really. It's going to be really hard to render. It's painstaking, but the result is amazing. At least it looks amazing to me. So what I'm gonna do is, because it takes a long time to render the hair for me, I'm going to go back and forth, render this a little bit, and then render something else. You know, like how I do with my mangas, with my panels. I kind of jump around because there's a lot of strokes going on. Now, I could use a hair brush. I have a hair brush that does this work for me quite quickly, but it doesn't really give me a lot of control. So I'm just doing this painstakingly, strand by strand. And by the end of this, there'll be like a lot of strands. Jeez. It's gonna be insane. Okay, that looks good. I'm not really looking to finish this tonight. This is a painting where I want to give it some time. I may even redraw this. There's a part of me that doesn't like the pose very much, especially the hand part. So I may redraw that later. I'm still thinking about it, and that's why I'm not. You didn't see me render the hands there. I think I still have my references here. I usually delete those, but I think I still have the references for the hands. So you might see that pop out of nowhere, okay? Just a heads up. But I'm not sure if it's there. Just, just a heads up. Because what I do I had a lot of trouble with this hand. And I actually, to be honest with you, I almost wanted to just trace a hand, okay? But what I did instead was, a little bit of tracing, I had to say. I have to admit, just a little bit. But I ended up drawing, say, 90% of it. So what I did was overlay an actual hand that looks like that and see if it looks correct. And then I drew the thing. So it's like almost traced, I think. I'm not sure if I'm making sense here. But like I said, I'm not quite happy with it, so I'm going to redraw that entire thing. Maybe it looks good to me, but I think I can do better. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't wait to do the textures for this, because this thing is supposed to be a little bit of ceramic metal thing going on here, and it looks really bland at the moment, right? Because again, I'm just going through the motions. But once I get to the textures, this is gonna look really, really good. I'm already kind of doing it a little bit here with this, like, this contraption in her head, and we're also gonna overlay a hair, because she has a ponytail, right? So we're gonna overlay a hair going on here, right? So maybe something like this later. And I purposely did not draw her ponytail because I wanted that to be a separate layer behind the layer of, like, the entire thing. And I think that's gonna be a lot easier if I do that. So she is not finished yet. She has a long ponytail that goes up to her hips, I think. Maybe even beyond that. All right. Okay, I like that. So this thing is facing the light. So most of this will be in light. That's really is with just the light, you know. In a 3D environment, it's just whatever it is that's facing the light will be in lighting. My teacher back in high school told me that imagine if you're taking a bucket and then you're splashing it all over your painting. Whatever the bucket hits, you know, that whatever the wet parts of the painting, that's gonna be the areas that will be in light. I don't know if that made sense to me at the time, but right now it makes sense. I'm already adding a little bit of texture here, creating a little bit of a shape. Really, these are just reminders for me for later when I do the texture. This is gonna be a little bit shiny and cracked and in some areas. But I really like that now. Let's work on some parts of the hair again. So this part of the hair will be mostly in shadow, and that's why I'm not really rendering it too much around here. We're gonna take a darker brush and paint something darker around this area. Okay, before and after. That looks good. How about the eyes? All right, so for the eyes, I do this last, but for the sake of this video, let's just render it a little bit. Okay, not too much, because the eye still has, I think, 3 other layers to go before it's complete. But we'll render it just a little bit. We'll give her that Genshin Impact type of eyes, yeah. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I like it. Is the mouth even centered? It's probably not, isn't it? Let me do an anatomy check. It's not. If I flip this thing, is the mouth going to look okay? Yeah, see that? The mouth is totally not okay. Leaning on one side. I think her face is doing the same thing, right? The body looks okay though. I'll give myself that. But the face is weird. It's the mouth mostly the mouth. Okay, let's fix the mouth. For that, I need to turn all of the layers off. Well, just for the skin. And around that much. Okay, let's flip that. That's way better. Just minor adjustment, but this is gonna be a lot of work to fix. I think her face needs help as well. I don't know why I didn't see this. You know what? I said I won't fix this thing until later, but since I'm already here, might as well. Okay, minor adjustment, but you'll see that this actually affects the painting a whole lot. Because when I turn this on, now the render does not match the face, but luckily it's not too overwhelming. Not too overpowering, I mean. I'm also thinking of redoing the entire face, especially the mouth and the nose area, and just because this is like a semi-anime look, I'm thinking of just doing a full-on anime look. And the reason why I didn't do that at first is because I think it makes her look really, really young, and I think Eve is supposed to have that mature face, right? So I went with a semi-anime look. Makes her look a bit mature. Let's flip that. That's actually a bit better. It's still wonky, but it's not as noticeable anymore. I think it's just the tilt of the face, which I can get away with. I think. I don't know. I may be tripping here. Right? Let me flip that again. Man, there's something off about it. Okay, I may end up redrawing the face, which will suck. Um, maybe not. I like how I did it. There's just something. I think it's the angle of the face is. I need to do an anatomy check. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's correct. That's like totally aligned, right? The lips is okay. Ears is a little bit unaligned, but it's not too much. Everything about it looks good. Yeah, I think it's this part here, minor adjustment. Okay, let's try to do that. You know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cheat a little bit, okay? And this is gonna be so cringy, but you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna try doing this, okay? I don't know if this is gonna work. It probably won't. Oh no. Okay. Let's just try that. This is like the cringiest thing I've ever done. Because now it makes it look symmetrical. If I do that, right? And you know what? We'll take it up a notch, and actually copy paste this thing. Okay, there you go. All right, so the ears is totally a bit off. Okay, then let's just draw a new set of ears. I don't know if this is gonna work. Okay, first of all, so I'm gonna duplicate the artwork, so just in case it doesn't work, I can always go back to it. Okay, that looks okay-ish. Erase that. So that means the hair needs to be a bit thicker here. Yeah. Let's see if this works, guys. Okay, this is like so embarrassing. But if it works, you know, who knows? I'm gonna turn all the layers off for now. Just focus on the line art. Let's draw more of her ears, of course. It's something really rough. I still don't know if this is gonna work. Let's give her more hair here. Erase all that. Big mistake. That actually looks okay-ish. Alright, time to combine the layers. See what we got. Maybe a bit fatter here, right? Let's make it so that it's her hair here is a bit thicker. Cover more of the ears. And later on, once we render, a lot of this will be covered anyway. Who cares? Okay, let's try that. let's see how this goes. Oh, it's totally ruined the hair here. Okay. Let's see how this goes, okay? Duplicate. Freaking hell. You know what? I think it fixed a lot of the problems. Because I'll show you what it used to look like. Things like that, right? This is the fixed part. See? I think this one's better. Yeah. Her face is no longer wonky. That fixed like 90% or 80% of it, right? This is the before. See how her jawline is a bit wonky? And then over here, it doesn't have that problem anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. Actually, you know, I'm gonna keep the remnants of this so that I can go back to it later and laugh at myself. All right, let's keep this. Turn the background on, and then let's delete that. Where's my lighting? Oh yeah, this is the trace that I was talking about. I just tried to do this. See whatever worked. Right? And I ended up with this drawing instead. Because I had a lot of problems with it. Oops. Wait, my screen just changed again, dude. You know what? I'm gonna delete this camera so that won't happen again. Because I barely use it anyway. We're gonna delete this. Let's can I just freaking hide it or lock it to something? Alright, let's just remove it. Let's remove it. Okay. So now we're stuck with this camera. Because that keeps happening. Okay, how long was I like that? I don't think I was like that for too long, right? Yeah, hopefully. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, I was just fixing the wonkiness, right? This is before, this is the after. And I was just fixing the shape of her jaw. And I think I fixed it. Hopefully. Okay. If I go full traditional, is it okay to use hatching? Of course, man. Look, there's no wrong answers to those things. Okay, just there is no is it okay to do this? As long as you're being honest with it. As long as you're being honest with your process, you're not like lying to everybody. For example, if I said that, you know, I wasn't like tracing, you know, that would be bad. And then later on people found out that I'm tracing. They're not gonna be mad because I was tracing. They're gonna be mad because I was being dishonest. Something like that, right? As a screen tone, screen tones, we're gonna have a lot of problems with that with more traditional drawings, because I mean, how are you gonna draw a screen tone? You need a special kind of paper for screen tones. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called, but for traditional, I'd say I just stick with hatching lines for now. If you can't find the paper, I don't think you can find the paper, and especially not in my area. Hopefully in yours. You're from the Philippines as well, right? Okay, that looks good. Let's move on from the hair thing, and let's actually do something else. So this part here is kind of tricky because this thing is supposed to be a transparent object, and we're seeing through her skin. So what I want to do is add a little bit of that skin hit there when I'm rendering. Actually, you know what? Let's add it on the coloring section. And I want to mix the color of her skin with the color of this clothing. Right? So something like this maybe. Let's do that. Maybe I want to add it with on another layer just in case. So I can, you know, adjust it later on. Now this color here is so much darker in the reference, and we'll make it color correct right at the end of this when I'm actually adding the textures. That might not be today though, because this is a long process, guys. This takes me around, something like this will probably take me around like 9 to 13 hours. I believe my last big painting. What was my last big painting? I totally forgot. It wasn't Kaguya. It wasn't Yachiro. What was my? Oh yeah, Hikari. You know, right? My last big painting was Hikari, and that took me around 11 to 12 hours. Before that, I did Señorita Zelma, one of my OCs, and that took me 13 hours. So I'm planning to do the same here, and just take my time with this painting. So I probably won't stream the entire process because I need to finish this before next month. I need to finish this project before next month, right? And I need to finish 4 drawings. Actually, I need to finish 7 drawings of this same caliber in 2 months. So it's a big challenge, and I'm really just biting at it bit by bit until I complete it, right? Okay, that looks good to me. What the heck? Oh, okay, there we go. I'm gonna add a lot of texture here because this is supposed to be a textured material. See, look at that texture. I really like that. There's a neat trick that I learned to make it pop out a little bit more and with rim lighting, right around the edges or so, just a little bit. Okay, not don't overdo it. That looks good to me. On the other side, it's a lot less brighter, so maybe we'll just shade this part, but we'll still texture a lot of the back end here, so that's gonna catch a lot of rim light, this area here. Just play around with it, you know. It's all about just spending time with your painting to make a really good masterpiece. And like I said before, I'm still thinking of redrawing a lot of this, especially the face as well as the hand. I kind of like the hand, how I did it, but I think I can do better, like I said before, right? So it's not final yet. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I need a pressure brush here to give it a little bit more clothing push, right? Something like this. It's supposed to be a really thin fabric, so it's gonna have a little bit of fold. You can barely see it, but it's gonna be there. Yo, this is sick, dude. Now draw the titties out, daddy. Try not to. Man, I've been thinking of going to the dark side, if you know what I mean. Um, where are you chatting from? You're not from Twitch. Are you from Twitch? Or is my Twitch bugging out? You're not in YouTube either. Am I live somewhere else? Oh, weird. That's really weird. Where are you chatting from, man? Or did your chat get blocked? YouTube. Oh yeah, because I have a chat app, and YouTube, your comment about the titties did not show up in my YouTube, but now I can see you on YouTube. That normal. But I saw it in my chat app because I'm multi-streaming, and it's kind of hard for me to jump from one platform to another. So I have this app that just puts everything in one place. But yeah, I was just saying that I've been thinking of doing some cultured stuff, but every time I do, and I have clients that wants to do that, and they pay really well too. I'll tell you a story. I kind of did that fairly recently, but I refunded my client because I could not stomach the request. I'm not gonna say it, but it's a career-ending kind of art. So I think I only did the sketch, and then I couldn't stomach it anymore. And it's like, okay, this is too disgusting. I don't want to do this. And then that was the first ever client that I refunded. So I'm never touching that again. I'm never touching NSFW stuff ever again. Okay. Although I kind of want to. I'm not gonna say it. Although I kind of want to do some NSFW stuff, but some of the requests from my clients are too wild and too disgusting. I don't want to do it. Maybe I'll do NSFW stuff for my own just self-owned projects. I just don't have any reason to do that, right? I'm not against it, okay? What I'm really trying to say is I don't want to take in clients that does NSFW stuff because they have really weird requests. But I may do it on my own time if I feel like it. If you fold it under no pressure, it was a lot of pressure. I didn't want to be associated with that person. In fact, I kind of blocked that guy. It was that kind of art, okay? But like I said, I've been thinking of doing some, because I have this manga, if you don't know. And one of the things that I thought of early on was, what if there was a uncanon storyline that I could secretly post somewhere else that I'm never gonna say, and it's NSFW stuff, in conjunction with the storyline, but it's not canon. Does that make sense? To be fair, I haven't done that yet, but if I do, I'm never gonna tell you guys. Okay. Yes, I've heard of sick requests. I do have a friend that does it though for a living, and I know he earns a lot of money out of it, making furry art. And he did say that you gotta have a really thick stomach. Is that how you say it in English? A strong stomach, whatever. You know what I mean? To survive in the industry, and I don't think I have that. So as much as possible, I'm gonna stay away from NSW work, and maybe just stick to my own stuff. I find it anyway if I pull my yeah, probably. I don't know. If I am gonna do some NSFW stuff, it's probably gonna be vanilla, you know. Maybe there's some sort of fetish there, here and there, but nothing too outlandish. Okay. Maybe it's called thick skin. Yeah, thick skin. Yeah, that too. I do have a thick skin, but I have my boundaries. I mean, I can usually take criticism, you know, no matter how harsh it is. In fact, I think I've told this story before. Silver comment, you've been around here for a while. I think you've heard this. When I was starting social media, when I was starting to post on YouTube, back last year, I think, there was this guy. I don't even know if it was a guy. I think it was a guy who befriended me, and he was pretty cool. You know, I was pretty happy with him. He was a bit outlandish, but nothing too weird. And up until the very end, where he wanted me to draw a fan art of this character. I'll show you the painting that I did for him. Okay. He wanted me to draw a lot of fan art, four of them in fact, and one of them was for his favorite cartoon character. I don't really know anything about this character up until I looked her up. So this is the fan art that I made for him, and completely free, by the way. I think back in the day you used to call this art trade. No, it's not art trade because I didn't really trade anything. But the deal was, okay, as long as I can post this speed paint of this, I'm happy to do you a fan art. Okay, these cards, by the way, they just copy pasted that. Okay, I got lazy. But anyways, so this was okay. This is totally okay. This has no problem. But the second fan art, our communication kind of got lost in translation, because I thought he wanted me to do a fan art of a character, because the way he said it was, I want you to draw my crush. Okay, so I was like, oh, this guy has a animated crush, you know, like I do. Like who would be my anime crush? Hinata, Sakura, those girls, right? Orihime and Rukia, something like that, right? Like a fantasy crush. But no, he wanted me to draw an actual girl, and I wasn't really comfortable with that, because I don't know this girl, and I'm just drawing this random girl for no reason. And then let's close this up now. And then I told him, no, look, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't know her. I don't have her consent. It's kind of weird for me to draw a random girl without her consent, right? And this girl kind of looks really young too, like really young. And he wanted me to, she didn't look like a minor. I don't know. He kind of did a little bit. I wasn't sure. He's like borderline, right? And so I wasn't really. It was making me uncomfortable, because he wanted me to draw some uncomfortable shit. I don't want to say it. Anyway, so I told her, look, I'm gonna have to think about this. I don't know. And then I eventually said no. And then later on, he was clapping back at me like the next day, right? I mean, I thought he was okay with it because he didn't really say anything. And then the next day, he was like telling me all this nasty shit about my son and my wife, and you know, you're a lazy dad because you just play games all the like this nasty shit. And I was like laughing the entire time, because this guy is raging out because I rejected his weird request, right? And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna ignore you, and I'm gonna enjoy you raging out there in the corner, right? So I usually have really thick skin. I can endure those kind of things, and I kind of laugh at them at the same time, you know. Has been, yeah. I quite popular back in the day, I think. I haven't seen too much about Has Been lately, and really, I don't really watch that show anyway. I have no idea what it's about. It was just a fan art that one of my ex-viewers, I would say, I think he's ex-viewer, because he really totally what does the kid say nowadays, crashed out. He crashed out on me, okay. But yeah, do Warhammer. I'm actually doing a Warhammer collection. I'm doing 3 people from Warhammer at the same time, right after I do so I'm doing a collection for the Stellar Blade, and then Evangelion, and then I'm going to Warhammer after, right? It's too many girls. Too many girls. I'm like drawing like how many girls is that? There's Raven, there's Eve, and there's Evie, Asuka, Rei. So that's 5 girls and 2 guys. And then I'm gonna draw 3 other guys. So it's just a palette cleanser, okay? Because I draw guys too, guys. I drew men too. They're just not as popular. You know what I mean? That's where with Haywire. Yeah, exactly. Crazy. I've never had that kind of conversation with a viewer before, because I'm usually nice, right? If you're in my Discord server, I'm usually nice, accommodating. I'm a nice guy. At least I like to think so. Um, but I didn't really expect him to. Okay, yeah, right. I didn't really expect him to go ape shit. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do his character, man. Weird. It was a real girl. Okay. This is supposed to be a clip, but it looks like it's floating. I'll fix that later. Sorry, I talked a lot there. Kind of wasted a lot of time not rendering. Hey everyone, welcome to the chat, man. I bet there are some censored chat from my YouTube. Let me check my chat app. Yep, there are some. Dude, you gotta take it easy, man. Gino Pryor. Nah, bro, you pulled a Kanye. You went from I don't do NSFW. Okay, I might do it. No. I think you're right. I wasn't able to explain myself. What I mean is that I won't do client work as NSFW, but I am going to. I'm open to it when I'm just doing it for myself. If that makes sense, right? But you're right. I didn't explain myself. That was really weird. I apologize about that. And the reason why is because I'm not comfortable talking about that subject with another person that I know might have a different sensibility than me, and I don't want to judge them for their fetish, right? If it's client work, and I just want to do it on my own terms. Hopefully that makes more sense, right? Let me know. What is that? What is that emoji, man? I can't believe I just said, what does the young kids say nowadays? All right, that's a nice texture, right? It's supposed to be a bit silky, and later we'll make it a lot, like, pop out a lot more. This part of the body will be mostly in shadow, mostly, but not necessarily all of it. And there's gonna be some bounce light there too. Oh, look at that. That angle there? I think it looks thick. Okay. The shape of the boobs. Or in the boobus now. This is gonna be a bit tricky because these are like multiple materials at the same time. So let's just take it easy, okay? It's supposed to be metallic, so we'll have a metallic texture here. And this part here is supposed to be clothing, like a jumpsuit kind of thing. Did my viewer count just go up because I was talking about NSFW stuff? because that would be really funny. Yeah, my viewer just went up to 20 by 20, and then it came back to 4, like right away once I stopped talking. I'm looking at it. It used to be like 40 viewers, and now it's like 60. There's 4 viewers right now on chat, but you know, but in the span that I was talking about that story, we kind of went up. That's funny, man. That's looking good. I like that. This area should be in shadow, in lighting. And let's do the tie a little bit. I'm really liking this so far. I'm just not happy with the face yet. I may change my mind later. And I'm not happy with the hand, but everything else looks looks great to me. And it's really fun to render these textures, these different materials. Like it's supposed to be like a synthetic metal kind of thing, so it's really it's like this shiny metal. And I'm just adding shadows in between, right, to give it that like metallic look, something like that maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Let me reduce this part here. And increase this part here a little bit. Soften it up. And that should be it. And let's add some textures here. Just a little bit, you know. And oh yeah, don't forget about the bounce light. There'll be bounce light under the boobs too. The booba. And that should be it. Okay. That's too much. Too much bounce light. 20%. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, that's one booba down. TTV, what's up, man? How are you? Doing great. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I'm just drawing some booba. The right one's finished. It's the left one now. Oh yeah, I gotta render these parts too, of course. You know what's funny? I've never played Stellar Blade. This is actually a request from a friend of mine. a really close friend of mine who really loves Stellar Blade, and I watched the trailer for the second part. I know that it has a lot of controversies. I don't really find anything wrong with it, to be honest with you. I think she looks fine. I don't see a kid. Yeah, because the new Stellar Blade, everybody says it looks like a child. To me, she does look young, but she doesn't look like a child. Maybe that's just because I live in Asia, and I'm kind of used to those kind of things. My eyes are kind of used to those kind of things. Dating in Asia is like playing Minesweeper. I'm doing great work on your art. Thanks, man. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Right? This is not even finished yet, right? So I gotta render a lot of these shadows here, especially for the skin. I think I really gotta redo the skin, and the background too. There'll be like this is gonna be like a mural on her background that's depicting the intro of Stellar Blade, where the ships are like crashing down this planet. So these dots over here are supposed to be ships, and then there's gonna be a planet here, and it's gonna be very barely visible. But I kind of like doing these mural type paintings, where where the characters is against a wall, and there's this beautiful painting behind her. She looks like she knows how to apply her makeup. I haven't really applied any makeup yet, but later I have this text, this layer here called text, which is texture, and that's where I usually apply any makeup if there's any, right? But this is a lot of work, man. This is like around maybe 20% finish, 20 or 30%, something like that. But yeah, it will look. I'm really excited for it to finish, but I also don't want to rush it. I want to take my time, because this is gonna be a product, right? This is supposed to be for my shop, and I wanna like do my best to deliver a masterpiece, and not just phone it in for the sake of selling something that's half baked. If that makes sense. I was referring to the girl from Stellar Blade 2 trailer. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, she looks good. She look. I have a My wife is 28, but she's still being asked about her IDs. So that's like the typical Asian experience, right? It's really normal around here, and maybe that's weird for Westerners. Well, we're pretty much almost the same age as my wife. It's just that I look a little older because I'm a guy, and she looks like a lot of girls here looks really young. Like I said, playing dating here is like playing Minesweeper. Okay. I don't even take a girl to dinner until she shows me her ID these days. True. And I'm in the US. Yeah, I'm. You know what? I think about dating all the time, and the only thing that I think about is, thank God I'm not dating anymore. Because dating, the way people explain dating to me nowadays with my like my younger friends, man, it sounds like it sucks. So yeah, thank God I'm not dating anymore. Fucking hell, that'd be a nightmare. Oh yeah, it's terrible. I'm 25. I'm already prepared to go to the next decade without a relationship. I still think you should put in an effort, of course. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be difficult. I don't even know if I can give anybody dating advice anymore because I haven't dated for a very long time. Because I have a kid and I'm almost married. I played that game, but back in my day, it was just about the numbers game. You say hi. You just say hi. So as many girls as you can, and don't be weird about it too. Just be cool. Just say hey. Make people around you smile. There's a really neat trick that I think it still applies today, when you're trying to attract a girl, and it's from a friend of mine. I'll just say it's a friend of mine, um, who taught me this. That um, the way he gets girls was you have to be the person. You have to be the kind of person that girls want to be with, right? So what is that? If you're not handsome, for example, then you can be rich. But if you're not rich and handsome, then what else can you be, right? What else can you be? Like, you can be funny. At least that have a good personality. Um, and I think that's totally true. I think if you work on yourself, it naturally attracts women towards you because you just become like naturally more interesting, even if you're not rich or handsome. And trust me, I'm not handsome at all, nor am I rich. Okay, but it totally works. It's like people matured backwards. I think it's because girls mature a lot longer. So they kind of, I think it depends where you get the girls to. Like in the city, in my experience in the city, girls mature really really slowly because they get like all the good stuff, right? They get their way in most for the most part. And all my city girl friends, they're all like old like me, but they're still partying, they're still like drinking. It's like, fucking hell, man. Every time they invite me, I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm too old for that stuff. I can't be drunk anymore without, because I need to take care of my son. Anyways, but rural girls, like country girls, dude, they live that hard life, okay? And so they're a lot more let's say conservative in a traditional not conservative, not in a political sense, okay, but conservative more in a traditional sense, like family value type of conservative. That, at least that's my experience. Getting a girlfriend is easy. It's getting a proper girlfriend that's more difficult than it's. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think it's just a numbers game. You won't be able to find the that kind of girl if you don't put yourself out there, right? If you're looking for a girl that's marriage material, you're gonna go through a lot of what's the word for it? What's a PG word for it? You know what I mean, right? I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna get banned if I say it. You just shifted my focus on other things that I can make happen, like making money, traveling, building upon my interests, and stuff like that. Yeah. You know what? Those kind of things. If you just do that, that will naturally attract the kind of woman that want that you like, or not like. That has been my experience anyway. So just do that for now. Because men are, I'm not sure if you're a guy. I think you're a guy. But guys has a like a lot of responsibilities when it comes to like relationship. I'm more of a traditionalist myself. I have those kind of values. So I don't know if you share the same value, but for me, I like the provider role. It kind of fulfills me. For example, my son and my soon to be wife went on a family vacation with her mom, and I couldn't go because I had work. It kind of made me sad, but at the same time, I realized that when they weren't here, it felt lonely, but also it felt lonely in a way that I kind of lost sight of what I was fighting for. So I didn't like working, because I liked seeing them around the house when and work, and it gives me motivation to work because I see what I'm fighting for. It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm making it sound like it's a big deal, but I just had that slight feeling anyway. So I'm really a traditionalist. I don't know what you call it. I'm the same way. Yeah, man. Cheers to that. I think traditional guys like you and me. I think we're a lot more common than the media would like to present us to be. I think we're still the majority of men who wants to have a family and settle down. Oh yeah, there's an army of us. Yeah. I think we are still out because it's like a tried and true virtue, right? That has stood the test of time, and it has never really changed at all. It has never failed us. Is what I'm trying to say. It's always been there. That sort of male role that the media likes to say it's toxic masculinity bullshit. Sorry, guys. I know there are some kids in my chat. I shouldn't be talking about that. But yeah, I think it's okay to talk about that. Is it just me or her boobs is kind of uneven? I'm gonna do an anatomy check, okay? So that's like an uneven boobs. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. You know why? Because her shoulder is also uneven, and that's done purposely because it's supposed to have a tilted kind of, like this hips here is also tilted, right? It has that kind of thing going on. So I would guess her boobs would be also tilted in a way. It does look odd though, without that concept when I'm just zooming in. Well, I think zoomed out, I think it looks fine. I can switch up the subject real quick. Did you happen to get a follow from someone named FoodQuest? Oh, you know what? I wouldn't know. Follow from where though? On Twitch, YouTube, Discord. But that would be the first time. Yeah, no, I don't think I did have. That would be the first time that I've heard that name. Although, let me check if can I actually see my followers. Who in the world follow me anyway? I probably can't see I don't know. I'm pretty new to Twitch. Why? What's up with HoodQuest? Did he do something to you? Want me to beat him up? Descriptions dodged. Let's go to creator dashboard. Maybe it's here. Nah. Community? No. Follower list. There we go. HoodQuest. Nah, I don't think it is any HoodQuest. Nope. No HoodQuest here. Yeah, nobody in my follower list named HoodQuest. Why, you want me to beat him up? Look, he's a really good guy. He writes comics, and I pointed him your way when I saw you're working in comics. Oh, really? You did? In that case, I won't beat him up. I'm just joking about that, by the way. But yeah, cool, man. That's I appreciate that. Thank you. It's nice to hear from other artists too, because it kind of feel a bit lonely. I mean, I appreciate talking to you guys, right? It's nice, but recognition from your peers hits a bit differently. This is a good idea. I'm gonna detail some of the shadows here, just a little bit. Yeah, that's a good idea. I know. He doesn't make the art, but he comes up with ideas. He has a friend that he commissions for the art in his comics. Oh, okay. So he's more like a writer then, right? An editor, I would say. I should kind of need an editor for my own manga too. So English is my second language, clearly. And I have trouble with the spelling sometimes with my manga. Yeah, he's a writer. Nice. I'm pretty new with writing. I got into the manga gig right around 2020, but I started writing my own story around last year. So I've been a writer for maybe less than a year, maybe a little bit more than a year, let's just say. That looks good. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a fun gig. Look, if sometimes when I'm writing, I kind of lose myself sometimes, just staring at the wall because I'm thinking of like plot lines, right? And my wife kind of catches me and says, "Hey, dude, you're doing that again, man. Staring at the wall. Stop that." Like I think a crazy person. It's funny. That's when you put a TV on the wall. I actually don't have a TV, which may be a problem. I don't have a TV because I found that I don't really watch TV anymore. Like, why would I have a TV if I don't watch it, right? That would just be weird. The walls have the answers. Yeah, exactly. They always have the answers. Oh yeah, me neither. Just anime and good game. Well, the thing is, I can get anime from, let's say, Netflix or from this shady website that I know that I may or may not use. Okay, I really like this texture. We'll add some deeper shadows later too, so it pops out a lot more, and we can get rid of the line art. And actually, Silver Comet for me, it's more like my ceiling, so I'm like this, drooling like freaking hell. My wife's like, "Hey, are you having a heart attack or something?" Yeah, maybe. Especially when I'm trying to write smart characters. Discovery writing with smart characters is really fun because you figure out, oh, you know what, I had this thing back a few pages before, and now I have this problem. I could probably use that thing to solve this problem that I just created that I can't get out of. The discovery writing. The anime website, they all count. Yeah. But yeah, everybody should try. Look, here's the thing about writing, right? So you start your writing journey by just writing something out of nowhere, like whatever the first thing that comes in your mind, right? You start with, let's say, in the forest, out comes this character, and she's blind, for example. She's blind, and she can't see. Of course, she's blind, but she is aware about her surroundings, and she stumbles upon this beggar. And see, I'm already like coming up with stuff, right? So that could be like, that could go on for and on and on and on for like hours and hours, man, just writing this thing. And you can just come up with like plot lines out of the cuff in your head, and then that first thing that thing that you've written will be absolutely shit. Okay, because it's like off the cuff, of course. It's not structured yet. But you consider that as your sketch, like your drawing, right? That first draft where you're just blabbing around plot lines, that's your sketch. And then you do a second draft. This time it's a little bit more refined, right? You take out the things that doesn't make sense. Maybe he's not really blind. Maybe it's not really a beggar that she comes across with. Maybe it's like a caravan. Oh, maybe it's like this baron that she falls in love with, something like that, right? So you kind of think that, and you write your second draft, right? And it's a little bit more cleaner, but then you realize it's still pretty shit, right? This makes no sense. I don't like this. The introduction is too slow, things like that. And then you write your third draft. Oh, okay, maybe she's not really blind. Maybe she's just lost in the forest, something like that, right? So that's kind of like how I approach writing. And I learned that the hard way, because last year I told myself, okay, I know myself really well, and I kind of learn on the fly while I'm making failures. Okay, so okay, let's just do this. I said, Jingo, let's just do this. Let's just fail for a little bit. Let's waste some time failing. So that's what I did. So I wrote a script, my first draft, and then I drew that thing right away without even like thinking about it. I drew that right away. I spent like 8 weeks drawing like 8 pages, 1 page a week, of my manga from my first draft. And then I realized, oh my god, it's so bad. It was so dreary. It was so dry, humorless. It was not fun at all. So I scrapped that, forgot about that. I didn't delete the pages, of course. It's like still artwork, right? And then I did my second draft, and then I did it again. And so I kept doing this thing about 3 or 4 times until I realized, okay, you really need to sit down and write this thing, right? And so that's exactly what I did. I watched some Sanderson's, because he has a lot of videos online. His content is really rich, and I learned about this trick. This you gotta go through iterations, and it's just like sketching, So your first draft is like your sketch, your second draft is like your line art, and you just add on top of it, and until you refine your story with something really good. I created an origin story for my OC model, and it's kind of neat, but I need to buff up the early setting of the lore. Yeah, world building also works with the story too. If you have this really nice idea for the world, which is the kind of road that I went with. I world build I world build first, and then I wrote stories that took place within this world. I wrote a lot of stories before I even got into my main story. And then I wrote a lot of those too. So the world building works because you can come up with like your own rules and your own ideas that make sense within the world. So yeah, that world building helps with writing, from my experience. Don't take it from me, okay? I'm no writer. I'm no pro writer. I may be a good artist. That comes easy with me, but I'm no pro. I'm probably not even a good artist. Now that I think about it, right? The paint droplets is healing from my hair. Well, you have paint in your healing? Actually, I kind of do too. My ceiling is like falling off. Not really well built. Okay, I may just finish this one thing. how would this reflect the work? It could reflect like this, right? That makes no sense. Actually, it does make sense. Makes no sense. I can head out now. My head is pounding at me and I'm getting sensitive to the light. But it was good chatting with you. Good luck on your rest of your work. Hey, good chatting with you, man. Thanks for hanging out. You take care, okay? You have a rest. I think it makes more sense if I do it vertically. But the way I was taught, this makes no sense, I think. I don't know how it, maybe it's like reflecting, right? Because this thing over here, okay, see this shadow over here? Okay, this is not random. So I'm imagining a actually let's use this thing, this line over her boobs thing. I'm imagining there's a ground here and there's some tree lines here, and her thing is kind of reflecting that. And so here is the sky, so there's nothing there. And later we're gonna add some reflective light thing here, right? Something like let's say something like this, maybe, right? Something like that. To identify the light source, maybe a bit orange. I'm just spitballing here, whatever. So that's kind of my mindset when I'm drawing these shadows with metallic objects. But over here, it doesn't make sense, because why is the tree line suddenly this way and not that way? And I suspect it has something to do with the bend of the light. But this makes more sense to me. How do I find my own art style? By trial and error. Yeah, you gotta find it. For me, you gotta find it. Here's what you do, okay? Who would be your favorite artist? Whoever that is, just take one thing that he or she does and then copy that for a while. Over time, that thing that you're copying, you will develop your own way of doing that thing. And then the further you do that, the more you do that, that thing that you just copied becomes something completely different that's only unique to yours. So now you have one thing that you're doing that's within your style. Now that may not complete your style just yet. You need to do that over and over again until you complete your style. Now your style will never be complete. Okay, my style, I have my own style now, but to me it's not never complete. That's the thing with art. You see, you're never complete. You gotta keep at it. It's a self-discovering journey, and you're never gonna get to the destination. And for me, that's a good thing, and I don't want to scare you off, because art is not. Here's the thing. Okay, here's a good way to put it. I got this idea, this philosophy from Brandon Sanderson, where he says that in the future, we may actually come to accept that AI prompters are like artists, and actually he didn't say that, but I said that, right? But who really cares? Okay, who really cares? Because the art is not about the final product, and AI can render really, really nice, like final product, like really render really cool paintings, right? But the thing is, that's not the art. The art is not the final product. The art is two things. The art is the process, and the art is you, the artist. Those are the two things that really make art, at least for me. Okay, and that's another problem, by the way. I'll talk more about that later. So you gotta find your own style, and um you gotta be not, you don't want to the journey to end, okay? Because once it ends, then the art also ends, because the journey is the art. Am I like making sense here, or am I speaking like woo woo shit? Oh, that's so good. It looks good. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here, because I think I've already done a lot here, right? Let's actually zoom out a little bit. Okay, I actually copied this. This is where we were. This is where we're at now. See, before, after, before, after. See how the face is fixed a little bit. It's a very slight difference, but I think it makes big difference, right? Before, after. Her head looks way more symmetrical now. Anyways, yeah. All right, Silver Comet, Panga, Zap, whoever is Mr. I'm not sure if TTV Vex Dust is still there. But thank you everyone for hanging out. I'll come back on Saturday. Oh, by the way, I want you all, if you're in my Discord server, I want you to submit your artwork if you want me to review it on a Saturday. Let's do Friday. Actually, let's do Friday. Submit your artwork on the channel. I made a channel for it. I believe it's called Stream Review Show Me Your Art channel. Submit it there, and I'm gonna review it on a Friday stream. Okay, we're gonna do Friday, Saturday this time instead of Sunday. Anyways, you guys have a nice day. Thank you for hanging out, and bye bye. See ya.